Hello, hello. I see you, Bella. Hello, good morning, happy Monday. Got lurkers. Bella's upstairs looking out the window. Don't be shy, say hello. I had to close the curtain over here because it was too bright. Too bright. Washed me out. And just had a repair guy here for the washing machine. Hey, Miss Southern Belle, I had a feeling maybe that was you. How are you? I'm in my living room. I don't have a stepson growing out of this couch anymore. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I hear crickets. Can't tell if the crickets are from outside or upstairs because the crickets that my beardy eats um, sing too. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Me, not so much, but there's a story behind it. Hey, Miss Canadian Scrapper. How are you? Long time no see. I saw you up on, I think it was Kathy's live the other day. I was lurking. It was in the evening, I think. It was an evening. Is there a long delay? Well, phooey. But yeah, my stepson is finally not here. Um, he was taken back to Tennessee. I'm in Indiana. Um, but not before some things happened here that I'm really upset about. Oh, it's a holiday today. It's August 2nd. Trying to remember what holiday it would be. I don't know. It's been a long time since I lived in Canada. I can check. Let's check. Holiday today. It's a civic holiday. Strives to help foster the spirit of community among residents. So how has everybody been doing? Hey, H7. Good and bad. Good and bad. My stepson is finally gone. But not before he turned my world upside down. So, yeah, there's that. I mean, I'm not leaving now, because I don't know how much, I can't remember how much I told before about, stuff that's going on here. And that I basically had told my husband, he goes, like my stepson goes or I go. My stepson is gone, but he stole some things from me before he went. So, I've been pretty upset about it. Especially, like, I'm kind of dealing with some negative emotions toward my husband right now because he told me that on the way to taking him back to where he came from, he was going to confront him about what he did. And he didn't do it. So, for all my stepson knows, he completely got away with it. And I just kind of feel a little violated. You know how people say they feel violated when their house is broken into because a stranger's been in their personal space? I kind of felt like that. I kind of feel like that. And it kind of hurt me to have my husband not say something to him. He didn't want me to say anything to him because he didn't want my safety to be at risk if my stepson lost his mind. And I got that. I'm like, okay, as much as I want to say something to him, my safety's more important. He said that he would deal with it. He didn't. So I just kind of feel like, he's like, he's gone. That's what's important. And I'm like, yeah, I know that he's gone and we don't have to deal with that anymore. But at the same time, he didn't even get so much as a slap on the wrist or lecture about what he did to me. Maybe he'd feel differently if it was he stole from him, but he stole personally from me. So, I mean, I can, but he's not even in the same state now. So, now, like, basically what he had done, and he made it obvious that it was him, he had taken I had 2 bank cards from my bank, from my account. One had my name on it, one had my husband's name on it, because I put my husband's name on the account. And my stepson, at some point, had gone into my purse, took the card that had his dad's name on it, and used it. And used it just at the gas station, like a block from our house. Twice. He used it twice. And the amounts were for a pack of cigarettes. He used it twice. He also, when I saw those transactions on my, he's 23. I called the bank to cancel the card. So, while I was doing that, they told me there were also 2 attempted ATM withdrawals, but they were declined because he didn't know the PIN. So I was like, well, clearly, and these ATM withdrawal attempts were done near my house as well. If it was a random stranger that had stolen my card or stolen my information, it's not all going to be done like right down here from my house. Yes, I'm pretty sure that's what it was, although, he bought cigarettes with my card. And I noticed on my statement that I knew which card it was because of the last 4 digits. That meant it was put through as a credit card rather than a debit card. When I use the card and I use it as a debit, the last 4 digits of the card number, don't come up when you use it as a debit, only when you use it as a credit. So since he didn't know my PIN number, he put it through as a credit. And I knew I didn't do that. He did that. And the reason I know he did that is because, first off, he had to have had the card in his possession to try the ATM. It'd be one thing you can use numbers to buy things, whatever, without a physical card. Usually that's done online though. But to do an ATM withdrawal, you need the card. But here's the kicker. He went as far as putting the card back in my wallet, because when I discovered those transactions, I checked my wallet and the card was there. So he went as far as putting that card back. And I'm like, well, hello, you've made it obvious that it's you. Here's the part that has me the most upset. I went out of town. Hey, Nez, how are you? I went out of town on Monday. We put valuables away. If he's that desperate, I hid some valuables. I even took the lockbox with me, because that way then he can't carry it out of the house, even though it's locked. There's valuables in it. He could break in at some point if he steals the lockbox. So I took the lockbox with me. And I'm like, I shouldn't feel like I have to do this when I leave the house. But I took it with and hid some other valuables and things like that. I got back on Thursday. Yeah, Remy's up there squawking away. I basically was starting to wasn't worried so much about my purse as I was putting my keys and my wallet in the lockbox when I was home. Because if I happen to go and say take a shower, he's got a window to go and take it. So when I was home and didn't have it on my person, I had it locked up. And I shouldn't have to do that. So, but here's the part that has me the most upset. Because it didn't even cross my mind that it was going to be an issue. But when somebody who's wanting money for drugs, they're going to do what they need to do regardless of how they make other people feel. I got home on Thursday. Yep, I have one. It's actually back there on the chair. Right there. But I got home on Thursday. My son popped by to bring back one of my rats because his rat passed away. So that left mine alone. He brought her back. And then we talked for a little while or whatever. After he left, I went into my animal room, make sure, everyone was okay. I wasn't back for long. Like my son was waiting for me when I got here. But then I went into the animal room and something weird caught my eye. Prayers for my daughter, please, for her. Yes, of course. Yes, I will keep that. I will write it down so I don't forget. But I went through and I saw one of my snake tanks looked really weird. The hide was upside down. He stole one of my snakes. My youngest ball python, the fanciest of my snakes, he took. She's not in there. And he didn't even make it look like she just escaped. The lid was on, the weight was on top, but the hide was turned upside down. She can't do that. Even a full-grown snake can't turn over their heavy hide. The fake plant was on the other side. I had some moss in the tank that would hold moisture. It was in her water bowl. All things that she's never moved before by herself. This is a $150 snake. I got her for cheaper, but she's the fancier of the snakes, and she's the youngest I had. I got her in January. Gone. She's gone. So that had me the most upset, and I really wanted to say something to him. And my husband was like, I don't want him to run. If he feels threatened, I don't want him to run. He said, I want him out of the house, but I want him out of the house, not in the city, because then we'd have to change the locks, change the code on the garage, all of that stuff. He wanted to get him out of town. So, and if he feels threatened because I've accused him, he's going to run. That, and he was afraid for my safety. So I didn't say anything, as upset as I was. He's like, I'll confront him in the car. So then at the end of the day, they left Saturday. At the end of the day, I was like, so how did it go? How'd the drive go? And he was like, it was fine. And I'm like, did you talk to him about the fact that he stole money from me and my snake? And he said, no, he's gone. I don't want to deal with it anymore. And I was like, yeah, he's gone now and we don't have to worry about this anymore. But the fact remains, he stole my pet. It never occurred to me that my animals weren't safe when I wasn't here. And my snake is gone. And I paid good money for that snake. And that's my personal possession. I've been betrayed. I've been violated. And you're not going to say anything. You're not even going to yell at him. Like, at least so he knows he didn't just do it without me we've noticed. So I'm dealing with some negative emotions about that right now because he just wants to move on. And I'm like, well, that's fine, but he didn't steal from you. He stole from me. So it just really upsets me because it's not like the money from the account is one thing. Money replenishes. I get paid again. More money will go into the account. My snake is gone. She's gone. I have no idea who he sold her to for money. I don't know if, if they even know how to take care of a snake, if she's going to be taken care of. Like, I have no idea where she is. So, ugh. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth the hassle, or like I just have to get past these. I would like to at least send him a message, like text him or Facebook message him and be like, look, you've pissed me off. Like, he says he thinks of me as his mother. I'm his stepmom, but he thinks of me as his mother. He doesn't talk to his real mother. And I'm like, I don't know if I should feel flattered by that or not, because you just stole from me, you know? I don't want to... I can forgive him in the sense that he's addicted to drugs. They'll do anything for that. He's not in his right mind. He needs help. I can look at it that way, but I still feel, I don't know. It's really hard I have just a lot of emotions about it. And I at least want, like, it may sound petty to some people, but I at least want him to know that I'm angry and that, you know, that wasn't okay. And, you know, I don't know. It's just, like, my husband just wants to move on and forget about it. And I'm like, but that was my snake. You know, he didn't take your personal possessions. He didn't go into your personal space and rummage through your personal belongings. And if he did, you don't know about it. But I know that he did, and my hands are tied. Like, I don't know. So that's what's been, you know, it was a little over a week ago that I noticed that he took the money from my account. And it was only a few days ago, Thursday, that I discovered that my snake was gone. And, like, feeding day was Friday. So, I mean, did she eat? I don't know. And Thursday night, since he wasn't home when I got here, when I discovered that she was gone, I packed up my other snakes. My friend and my coworker, one of the managers at work, said he's got snakes too, and he was like, bring them over. So I brought the rest of my snakes over because I was supposed to work the next day, all day, and he was going to be here by himself. I was like, I don't even want to go to work right now because I don't know if the rest of my animals are safe. Like, what's going to be missing when I come home? So he was like, bring them over. So right now they're still there. They left Saturday. He's been gone since Saturday morning. But I brought them over, and I'm going to clean out their enclosures and everything before I bring them back. But they're over there. They're being taken care of. And I brought my ferret and my chinchilla and my bearded dragon and my leopard gecko to work with me that day, on Friday. I brought them to work with me because they're my more expensive animals that he can try and sell, you know? So I brought all of that with me to work. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I shouldn't have to do this to make sure that my animals are still there when I get home. Yeah, the other snakes are safe. Now, my husband told me I could get another snake, and I was like, well, that sounds wonderful, except for the fact that I want the snake that he took from me. So I've been shopping around for some other snakes. Now, there's a website called Morph Market, and I already have 2 normal ball pythons. She was not a normal ball python. I don't want to get another normal ball python. Now, unfortunately, those are the cheapest ball pythons, or the normals. But I did see one on Morph Market that is a gorgeous snake. I can show you a picture. It's a boy. I have all female snakes, and the manager at work, and my friend that has my snakes right now, he's got like several snakes, but he's got more females than males as well, but he wants to breed. And Yes, Leanne, my stepson stole one of my snakes. Yeah, he was definitely toxic. He was definitely toxic. But this snake is $350. I can make payments, which is good. And he is. Here, I'll show you a picture. He looks like that. He's a baby right now. He's a hatchling, so he's not even available right away. He has to eat a few more times before he can be shipped out. He is a pastel lesser leopard het clown. Now, that doesn't mean a lot to a lot of people. That's the morph that he is. He's not a normal. But when you pair him with another snake, like if you breed him to a female, they've got a female that they said if we breed them together when he's old enough, we can get some gorgeous snakes out of that. And because this snake would be mine, I would get half the clutch of snakes, and I could either keep what I want and sell what I want. So if there are 6 eggs that make it, and 6... Yes, I have PayPal. If there are 6 eggs and all 6 hatch, I get half of the clutch. I could keep one, and I can sell the others, and I'd make my money back off of this snake, like that. But so this snake, I could pay for him already. I could put a down payment of 25% down on him to hold him. They're gonna feed him a few more times before he ships out, and then I would just have to make the payments because I don't make a lot of money. So, oh, that would be so awesome. Yeah, I think my PayPal link is it's not in this description for this video, for this live. I'll put it in after, but it's in one of my other videos. But yeah, he's $350. He's coming from New York. He would come from New York. $350. Shipping is between $50 and $100. So that's going to add to the price too. So I'd probably have to pay, like, I'll put the 25% down, and then each paycheck put more towards him or whatever. But yeah, once he's old enough, I could get some awesome looking snakes. If he breeds to a female, even if he gets bred to one of my normals, some really pretty snakes can come from that. He posted on Snapchat, he was like, here are some of the snakes that could come out of the pairing of that snake and one of his. So here's some pictures. So this can come out as this can be a baby from that pairing, which is an awesome looking snake. This one, can't see the coloring very well. This one's gorgeous. So, I mean, it seems like something to do. Like, my husband can't say nothing because he didn't even confront him about taking my snake. But these are gorgeous possibilities that can come from a pairing with that snake and one of theirs. He made it obvious, Leanne. I was out of town for a few days, and when I got back, the snake was missing. He was the only one here. She didn't escape the tank. The lid was on. The weight was on the top. Her hide was turned over, and she can't turn it over herself. She was very young, and she's just gone. And the money from my account, there were 2 attempts at ATM withdrawals as well as money from my account. But the ATM attempts, you have to have the physical card on you to to do that. And the thing was, when I noticed the transactions that had happened, I checked my wallet and I had the card. So that meant that he used it and then put it back in my wallet. So he kind of made it obvious that it was him. But aren't these snakes gorgeous? And those are all offspring possibilities. Even this one. So, yeah. That's probably what I'm going to do. Like, he won't ship out probably for a few more weeks just because he has to eat a few more times. He's a baby. Thank you, H7. You're going to make me cry. I appreciate that so much. Hey, Mr. Doughboy. Yeah, I was like, I'm going to have to, I want to put 25% down to hold him so that somebody else doesn't do it first. And then start making the payments and stuff on him so that by the time he's had his few more feedings, he can be sent out. And they're going to overnight him. They always overnight their snakes so that they're not, traveling in a box for god-awful amounts of time. But, hold on. But yeah, and then I'd have to think of a name because I have all female snakes. He can't get back in because he's now kicked out of the house. My husband drove him back to Tennessee. I'm in Indiana. He drove him back to Tennessee on Saturday. At which point he was supposed to confront him about stealing from me, but he didn't. And I was saying earlier how upset I am that he just got to walk away without even a lecture about what he did. But that's why my husband wanted to take him back to Tennessee and not have him take off and be somewhere here where he could get back into the house because he's got a key. He knows the code to the garage. We'd have to change all of that. We'd have to change the locks and everything if he was staying. Plus, even then, I wouldn't trust him to not try and break in. So, yeah, not even a lecture. He didn't even get a lecture. He doesn't even... Besides the fact that he probably tried when I went to work to go back and look in on my other snakes, and they weren't there because I removed them for their own safety. He probably knows that I know just based on the fact that things were moved from where they originally were to keep them safe. Hey, David, how are you doing? But yeah, so I'm dealing with a lot of emotions on that. And then, of course, worried for the safety of that snake because I don't know who has her. I don't know who has her, if she's safe. Thank you, H7. I appreciate it so much. I'll definitely, once I get him, I'll definitely show him off. Do I need to call him H7? Is that gotta be his name? Yeah, I figure he sold because he doesn't like snakes. He didn't even want to touch them when I had them out. He didn't even want to touch them, but I figure he got her out. She was just small. Like, she was only 97 grams at most, 95 grams. She's still a baby. But he probably took her out, gave her to somebody to sell for money so that he can get his drugs. That's what I'm betting. When people are addicted to drugs, they'll do anything to get money for it. So thank you, David. Hey, Mr. J. So yeah, I'll have to think of a name. He's my first male snake, and hopefully when he's older, he can be a daddy and we'll get some awesome snakes. But yeah, my other ones are at my friend's house right now, safe and sound. They he had extra tanks, so he set them up in tanks that he already had, and their names are written on there, so they don't get them confused, like, whose snakes are these? And so once I clean out I'm gonna clean them out, their setups out here before I take them back. And then, yeah, I brought my ferret and my chinchilla and my gecko and my beardy to work with me on Friday to make sure that while I was gone for work all day, that nobody else was going to come up missing any of my expensive animals. Because I didn't trust him. I didn't trust him at that point. So, yeah, it's been... Like, my husband got home yesterday from bringing him back. And he's just like, he wants to celebrate. He's out of the house or whatever. And I'm like, I don't really feel like celebrating. Yeah, yay, he's out of the house. But you didn't even stand up for me. You know, you didn't even yell at him about what he did to your wife. Like, really? Oh, that's cool. Polo? That crossed my mind, actually. But, yeah. It's not cool. Not cool at all. I could show you a picture of her. I have a picture of my baby snake. There she is. That's who he took. That's the snake he took from me. Makes me angry. My stepson stole one of my snakes, Mr. J, before he was taken back to Tennessee. I was out of town Monday. Didn't get back till Thursday, and Thursday night he wasn't here. But I went into the room where my animals were and noticed that one of my snakes was missing. And not escaped missing because the lid was on, the hide was turned over, and she can't turn over the hide herself. She was removed from the tank. So the speculation is that he sold her for money for his drugs. Snakes are actually very easy to, like, the reptiles are easier to sell than other things. Like, even though I brought my chinchilla and my ferret to work with me to keep them safe because they were more expensive animals, I worried about Remy, but Remy would have bitten him. Reptiles are kind of easier to sell to people. Which is also why I took my beardy and my gecko with me to work as well. And just because whoever bought the snake from him, you know, so that he can get money, doesn't mean they even know how to take care of it. I've seen my share of neglected snakes surrendered at work. In fact, Kina, one of my ball pythons, was a neglected snake. So, I don't know. Yep, I am down a snake. She is gone. I'll never see her again because I don't know who has her. But, yep. But I'm gonna be getting another one. My husband said I can get another one, and I was like, well, I don't need another one. I mean, you did say that you didn't like how many animals I had. And he goes, well, I don't mind the snakes over all the other the snakes are one of the easiest things to take care of. So, yeah, right? Like, I was like, I care about what happens to him. You know, I'm not that kind of a person that I don't not care about what happens to him. Do I like him right now? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'm his stepmother. And yeah, see, I want to message now that he's gone. I want to message him and be like, hey, just so you know what you did. And, you know, it's not like, it's not going to do anything. He's going to be like, so what? Who cares? But at least then I'll know that I got my piece said. I wanted to walk up to him when he was home and say, "Where's my snake?" You know, like little ass. I don't know. Like I was upset. I was upset. But yep, so now I'm going to get another one. I'm going to get a male, and he's going to, when he's old enough, he'll breed with my friend's, one of my friend's females, and we'll make some beautiful snake babies that I'll be also entitled to and can sell. So I'll make my money back on the snake. And H7, I could totally, like, it's going to be like way down the road because he's way too young to be breeding, but can always PayPal you back the cost of the shipping. Hey David 2010, how are you doing? So yeah, that's been my week. It's just been I've just had, my stomach has just hurt, and I've just been uh emotional and just like not a happy camper. But now that my husband left again today, he's out of town again. He asked if I would come and, because I can actually go. But I've got to get stuff done around here too. Like, I can't just keep leaving all the time because then nothing is ever going to get done around here. Plus, I have an appointment on Thursday. So I'm probably going to tell him no, I'm not going. And I'm just going to totally enjoy the quiet of the house. Like, my stepson's not here. I can't remember the last time during the day that I sat in this room, because this is where he was always planted. So I'm just enjoying the quietness of my house. Oh, Leanne! Trust me, I've done my share of crying since all this happened. Ugh. I just, I was like, I was running the gamut of emotions, anger and bitterness and just crying and just more anger and I've got coffee here too. I've got more in the kitchen that I'll get. But yeah, so my baby, she's gone. Like, that to me was more upsetting than the money from my account. Like, really. Yes, he had to go into my purse to get my card and go into my purse to put it back and all of that. But money can be replaced. That particular snake cannot. Like, yes, I could get another snake, but it's not the same snake. And, it's a living creature. And that to me was worse than the money. I finally had gotten her to eat live mice too. She was always scared of her food moving. Like, she wouldn't eat. I'd have to put a frozen thawed in there and just leave it, and maybe she'd eat it, maybe she wouldn't. But if the food was moving, she was scared of it. I finally got her to eat. And now I don't have her. Hey, Misha! Yeah, like, because now what crosses my mind all the time is, Where is she? Who has her? Are they taking care of her? You know? So, yeah. It's just, ugh. Ugh. Like, I really want to confront him. Yes, I was just saying I can't remember the last time I sat in this room during the day because somebody was growing out of my couch. What type of snake was she? She was a ball python. She was shipped to work and she was going to be listed as, or like that she was supplied to work as a normal ball python, but she wasn't normal. My two normals don't look like her. She looked different. So he took the youngest, fancier snake, basically. I have a picture of her. This is her right here. That's who he took. She's more orange than the other snakes. They're more of a brown gold. She's more of an orange. That's who he took. But this is the snake that I am going to get. And right now he's a hatchling. He's got to eat a few more meals before he can come. But he is a pastel lesser leopard het clown. 66% het clown. Which means that if I go to the website, and he's more expensive. He's a $350 snake. This means that he has leopard, pastel. Het clown means that somewhere in there a clown was, pairing was a pastel leopard het clown to a pastel lesser het clown. And it says the whole clutch, all the babies are super bright and beautiful. And, they'll be ready to ship after a few more meals, which if that's like 3 more meals, that's about 3 more weeks or whatever. So they're very young. But yep, I'm looking at getting him, and hopefully he'll still be available by the time I put the deposit down. And then they'll overnight him so that he's not in a box forever. Nice thing is shipping in the summer, they need heat and humidity anyway. So I mean, it can't be too hot, but overnighting them in the summer is going to be safer than shipping in the winter. So, yeah. Bella, where are you? Bella? Bella? Like she's dead to the world, sleeping somewhere. Oh, I see her. Yeah. No, you can't see her. She's back there. So when do you think you get him? That's gonna depend on how, if he's got to eat for 3 more weeks. And then I guess based on whenever I put the deposit down and make the payments. So maybe a month or so, probably by the time it's all, because they won't ship him until I've finished paying him off. The payments have to be complete before they'll ship him out. So if I were to pay him off sooner than he'd be ready, they would just ship him out as soon as he gets his remaining meals. But I am excited about that. But I probably would have done this at some point even if I didn't lose one of my snakes. But I was like, oh, I definitely want a different one now because I'm down a snake. But, so I'm excited about it, but I shouldn't have had to lose one in order to get him, you know? But I'm also excited about when he's older and breeding him so that we can get some of those awesome morphs coming out of that, because the awesome thing is you never know what you're going to get. Like, it could be a mix. It could be every snake in the clutch can be different, or they could all be different from the parents but all the same in the clutch. Like, and he can breed more than once too. I'm not well versed on how to do all the breeding and stuff, but my friend is, so he's in charge of that. He's in charge of that. He's also very good with morphs and things like that too. And he's been doing, that's how he knew what possibilities would come from the pairing. Because he's all into that. And I'm like, mind blown. It's too much information. But he also has like a morph calculator type thing. So if you pair this morph to this morph, you can get these possibilities. And I think he said there were like 100 possibilities from these two that he's, whatever female he was thinking of breeding. So it's too much information for me. I'm just like, ooh, babies, okay. You can't hear me? Can you hear me? My mic is really, on my laptop is really weird. It's very noise canceling. So if I move just a little too far away, it'll cut me out. Can you hear me? Big Tim, hello, how are you? Okay, so it might have been that I backed up too far from the laptop. I hate that. I've tried to change the setting on that, and I thought I had, but apparently I haven't. So I'm going to have to go and test out my washing machine later. We had bought a new washer and dryer set. Audio was fine the whole time? Okay. We had bought a new washer and dryer set, and then, like, within a week of having it, the washer stopped working. And I was like, are you serious? Is that necessary? I don't know if you heard that, but that was loud. So ever since, we haven't been able to do laundry, and I'm like, but it's fixed now. Right before I went live, the fixer guy left. So I'm gonna have to test it out. Yeah, with their loud mufflers. I have a real good attitude. I haven't always. Like I said, when it first occurred, I'm still dealing with it. I still have, like, I want to cuss him out. I'm just like, I am really upset about it. I'm trying to be the bigger person about it. And, but, when you feel violated like that, it's like, you got a new top loader. Ours is a front loader. I've never had a front loader, so we'll see. Noiseless, that would be nice. We gave our old set to my son, to Ian. He, since he moved out and his ex-stepmother took the washer and dryer from the house when she wasn't supposed to, which apparently my ex is suing her about, because she took a few things that she shouldn't have, including the washer and dryer. But we gave our old set to my son, so that he didn't have to keep going to the laundromat. It still works, but yeah, he was just like, I want a new washer and dryer, and I'm like, okay. I'm good with a new washer and dryer. And we can look on there's an app. We can look on our phone and we can turn it on, we can turn it off. Same with the dryer. And it'll tell us how long if we're doing the load and we want to check to make sure, see if it's already done or how much more time does it have. We don't have to go all the way to the basement to look. We can look on our phone and, 5 more minutes. And it's so cool. That's a good idea. That, and when we were out of town and we could tell, when my stepson was here, we could tell when he was trying to do his laundry, because we would get notifications that the dryer was finished, or the dryer is being used, or when he was trying to do the washer and it wasn't working, that it was a failed, there was a notification that the washer wasn't working or whatever, that it stopped because of this and that or whatever. And I was like, how do you turn these off? Because he kept attempting and attempting and attempting, and I was like 20 notifications of the washer stopped, the washer stopped. Oh, she's moving out this week. How old is she? And I've been enjoying Ivy so much. Ivy, my ferret. I've been enjoying her so much. She is such a character. She loves cat towers. I need to get a big cat tower. I mean, we have 2 cats, so I don't know why we don't have a cat tower in the first place. So a cat tower, 24. A cat tower would be beneficial for the cats anyway. But Ivy loves them. Every time I go to the people who have my snakes, every time I go over there, I bring her with and I stick her on the top of the cat tower, she'll stay up there for hours. They invited me over tonight. And I'm probably going to just bring her with because it gives her time out of the cage. And she's just going to hang out at the top of the cat tower with the cats. She loves cat towers, so I'm gonna have to get one. You don't use the app? And she's doing good with her, using her litter box. She's such a good girl. She's such a good girl. She loves chasing the cats. And it's funny because since we have hardwood floor, all you hear is her little feet as she chases the cats. See if you can see this. It's the funniest thing. Oh, where is it? Bella is like she is with any of the other animals. She'll growl. Brinley has not really seen her. Brinley would hurt her unintentionally, just like she would the rats. So she never gets to see her. Nope, that's not it. Here it is. So, excuse the floor. But there she is running after Sage. We're doing a deep clean of this room. A lot of what looks dirty on the floor is just stain, and it won't come up. I've mopped that floor several times. She just chases her. So, yeah, she's a hoot. She's definitely a hoot. But And the cat, she's done a flying leap onto my other cat's back, and the cat's like, "What is going on?" But yeah, she'll chase them, and she'll play with anybody. She wants to play with Bella, and Bella just growls at her. She's very accepting of. She doesn't care what kind of animal it is. She'll play. She's very funny. I have a pet stroller now. I ordered a pet stroller on Amazon, and I stuck like a cushy dog bed or cat bed in there to kind of give her, because she likes to be snug. So it kind of shrinks the space a little bit and hugs her. And then you can zip it up so she's like enclosed, and she'll totally just stay in there and look around and go underneath the bed and in between she's funny. Hey Ashley, how are you? And again, H7, thank you so much. Shout out to H7. He's going to cover shipping for me for the snake that I'm going to get. And I so appreciate it. Because the shipping is between $50 and $100, and I don't know how, like, where it's going to fall. But then the snake itself is $350. So in the end, I'm spending quite a bit of money on this snake. But I do appreciate it. It's definitely a nice gesture for, I miss my snake. But yeah. I'm all right, Ashley. The other dog is outside. I'll have to let her in here in a little bit. It hasn't been too hot the last couple days, which has been nice. I think I need more coffee. Yeah, I'm out of coffee. You didn't have to do it at all. You didn't have to do it at all. Four words you'll never hear me say. I miss my snake. She was very nervous when I got her back in January, but she was warming up to me and finally eating, not being scared of her food. Darn it. My other snakes right now are at my friend's house, safe and sound, although they're safe now if they come back. I wanted to clean them out first. Clean out their enclosures first before I brought them back home. But when I had told them what happened, they were like, bring them over. We'll keep them safe. So I really appreciated that. And a couple other of my coworkers had said, do you need me to bring any of your, like, watch any of your animals? Like, any of the other animals that I have, they were willing to take in and hold on to them until he was gone. So I work with some great people. I at least have that. Oh, I was going to take another drink and I don't have any more. But yeah, so I hope everybody had a good weekend and a good week. Now we're into a new week. I can't believe it's August already. Like, this year has absolutely flown by. Absolutely flown by. And I'm blank. I just went blank. I'm tired. I need more coffee. But I've been on off already for an hour. My goodness. But yeah, I am just like sitting in my living room. I'm like, when was the last time I just sat in my living room? I don't even know. I don't even know. Yeah, I hope so because yeah, for the majority of this year, it's been stressful because my stepson got here in December and has, you know, just grown grown out of this couch. Just a lump. Like there was last week or the week before. Literally did nothing the day before but slept until 4:30 in the afternoon. Got up, didn't move, turned the TV on, stayed there the whole day, took a nap. I'm like, you slept until 4:30. Why are you taking a nap? And then slept until 2 the next day. I'm like, Lordy, like, get this lump off of my couch. I was like, see, this is where I don't always have a good attitude. I wanted to go through all my animals, collect up some animal poop, different varieties of animal poop, make a mixture, and throw it on them. That's what I wanted to do. So I don't always have a good attitude. I wanted to make a poop mixture of all my animals and throw it on him while he was sleeping. Right on his head. I was cleaning 10 hours yesterday at my daughter's place. Her sliding glass door doesn't even stay locked. Ooh, that's not good. At first, I was like, I'm going to throw some ice water on him, and I'm like, no. Animal poop sounds a lot better. Like, I've got chinchilla poop, rat poop, guinea pig poop, snake poop, dog poop, cat poop, bird poop, gecko poop, beardy poop. You got all sorts of poop I can mix together. uh... Ferret poop. Yeah. I need to put more coffee in this because I keep picking it up to drink it. Give me a second. I will be right back. Look at my messy house. All right. Here we go. Yes, karma though. It's what I wanted to do. And then of course my husband was like, calm down. Never tell me to calm down. Where did he not get the memo that you don't tell a woman to calm down? That doesn't make me calm down. I don't even think he likes it when I tell him to calm down, so why would you tell me to calm down? And I have more reasons to tell him to calm down because he has a temper. He has a short fuse. He's never heard of don't sweat the small stuff either. I mean, he's heard of it, he just doesn't do it. So he loses his temper quite easily. And I'm like, take it down a bit. I love this mug. My mother sent me this mug. It's handmade. It was expensive. But I didn't pay for it. She bought it for me. I have one. My sister has one. My mom has one. My grandmother has one. Both of my aunts have one. So it's in the family. We all have one. So if I post a picture on Facebook about having my coffee and I'm using this mug, I think the last post that I did like that, my sister posted a picture on in my comments with her using the same mug. We all use the same mug. I don't know how much it was. She just told me it wasn't cheap. So that was another thing I was going to be too. Like if my stepson was careless and broke my mug, I would have been mad. And he was also explained to me why a guy who has short hair needs to use a woman's hair conditioner. Explain this to me. He wouldn't use his dad's shampoo, which his dad was happy about because his is more expensive than mine. But, which again makes me laugh that my husband hardly has any hair. And his shampoo is more expensive than mine. But his go-to was my shampoo and my conditioner, strawberry fragrance. And he uses, normally my conditioner lasts longer than my shampoo. My conditioner is more than half gone compared to my shampoo. Because he was using it, and I was even removing it from the shower and hiding it so that he would stop using it because he's messy with it too. And the last time I went to take a shower, I went to go get where I'd put them, and my conditioner was missing. I'm like, really? Now you're stealing my conditioner? My shampoo and my body wash were still there. The conditioner was missing. It was actually in the shower, which I know then he used it. Why? Why do you need to use my conditioner? Your hair is that long. I don't understand. Yeah, he smelled like strawberries. I don't get it. It's like he was purposely doing that just to piss me off. I don't even want to know. Yeah, well, he's gone now, Southern Belle. He's not here anymore. He's back in Tennessee, thank the Lord. That part of my stress is over, but not before he stole one of my snakes. Miss Southern Belle, he stole one of my snakes to sell for money. And no, I wouldn't have bought him conditioner anyway. He was already getting everything paid for him. He needed to get off his butt, get a job, and pay for his own shampoo and conditioner and food and all of that. He had everything handed to him. So that's why I'm glad that he's not here anymore. The load off my mind. And like I said earlier, I don't know if you were here, but I said earlier, this is the first time I've sat in my living room in the middle of the day, and I don't even know how long. Probably since last year. Because I would not hang out in this part of my house when he was here. I wanted to stay away from him. He's a very toxic person. He is mad at him. But he just, now that he's not here, he just wants to forget about it and move on. He's like, hopefully he gets help. And I'm like, well, we can at least let him know that he's hurt us, that he's, betrayed us. with all the help that we've given him, whatever, and then he turns around and does that, let him know how displeased we are. But no, he didn't. He just wants to move on. So maybe at one point I'll just message him and be like, look, turd, there's my good attitude. Yeah, it's when my husband said to me last night, do you realize that this is the first time, like, that we've been in this house completely by ourselves? And honestly, that's not even going to happen that much. I'm going to be completely by myself because he works out of town so much. So, but yeah, they're all moved out now. My stepdaughter's moved out. My son has moved out. And that's what gets me too, is my stepson is 23 years old. My son is 19, and he's more responsible and full-time job, living on his own, paying rent, all of that. Like, he is more responsible. But, yeah, everybody's out now. And my stepson's only out because I literally, like, I don't like ultimatums. I don't like to corner people. But at this point, I felt like for my own mental health and my own sanity, I had to. And my husband wasn't happy about it. He actually was very angry with me. But I was like, he has to leave or I'm leaving. I said, I love you, but I can't do this anymore. No, I can't. And he did not he felt like I threatened him. I said, I'm not threatening you. I'm telling you how I feel about this. And I don't want to, but I'm going to have to leave for my own sake if he doesn't go. So essentially, as unfair as it sounds, I was like, it's your kid or me. Was what it came down to. And he was not happy about it. So I literally was starting to look into places where I could go, which was very, very stressful. But he finally had messaged me back because a lot of this was done over the phone because he wasn't here. And he was like, you win. And I'm like, well, I didn't want to win. I said, it's also not a win if his son does something stupid and ends up dead. I don't want him to look at it as that's my fault because I made him leave. Our relationship will not make it if he's going to be full of resentment towards me because I made his son leave. So we're still having to work on that relationship because I've noticed, well, he was here yesterday, and because of how I feel about the fact that he didn't confront him about stealing from me, and we had that tension from I'm leaving if he doesn't. There is tension between us. I mean, there just is. So we're going to have to work on that now. Yeah. I mean, I didn't want to make him choose between his son and me, but, I can't keep living like that. And I have been my entire adult life giving and giving and giving and giving, and I'm depleted. And especially with his kids, he had custody of them, so it wasn't they're only here certain weekends or whatever. They were here all the time and full of disrespect towards me. So our entire marriage with his kids in the house has been just depleting my it's been a lot of stress. A lot of stress. And now that they're grown, I was like, this is the time where I could work on myself and, get my sanity back. And then he moves in and it's gone again, Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. I'm sure we'll get some message, in the near future saying that he's in jail. Because even though he was here, there is a warrant for his arrest in Tennessee. He's been here. Well, the cops have been going to his grandmother's house looking for him. So, he's probably going to end up in jail here sooner than later. But at least that's, consequences for your behavior. I mean, he's going to have to see it through. Thanks, David. Have a good day. Thanks for stopping in. But I can't tell you how... You guys are great because you're just listening to me vent for this hour and a half. But, it's been bottled up because who do I tell, There's a lot of my feelings I can't talk to my husband about. I should be able to, but I can't because we just end up fighting about it. So, because he'll take it personally and, my feelings are my feelings, but he takes it differently. So, there's just not been a lot of... I've been having to deal with it mostly by myself. But I have great coworkers that would listen to me vent too. And take in my animals when I need them to be safe. The dog is barking. So yeah, I'm glad I popped on. I didn't know how talkative I was going to be or... Yes, and you know what? I had peppers growing and I hadn't transplanted them outside yet. They were inside on the windowsill or whatever. And I was getting ready to put them outside. And while I was out of town, I don't even think it was a cat. The window was open since our AC is broken. Our window AC down here is broken, so it's warm in here. But the windows have been open to try and get a breeze, which isn't always helpful if it's extra hot because then the heat comes in too. But the window was open where my plants were, and we had apparently gusty wind when I was out of town, and it blew my peppers right off the shelf, and now they're dead. I was so upset. My other 3 snakes are at my friend's house, yes, but I didn't have to bring them their enclosures because he had extra. So he just set up 3 smaller tanks. They're in smaller tanks right now, but it's temporary, so it's not a big deal. But they're set up in 3 of his tanks, which is great. And he's keeping an eye on their humidity and things like that for me. But yeah, I can start something else, a fall garden, since my summer garden has kind of went... Yeah, I'll have to start something fresh. But my polka dot plant, I'll have to show you. Give me a second. My polka dot plant was getting tall, and you're supposed to prune it, not really deadhead it, but prune it back, pinch it to prune it back. So what I pinched off, I put in this cup of water, and it took a while, but look, it has totally rooted, so I could plant another one. It is completely rooted. Look at all those roots. So I can plant another polka dot plant. And my other one is still doing really good. So I'm going to have to get a pot out now that that has like ample roots and plant that. Or give it to somebody who wants it, that they can plant it. But I was like, I'm going to try this and see what happens. Instead of popping them off and throwing it away, I was like, I'm going to pop it off and put it in the cup of water and see what happens. And a little over a week and it's got roots now. So I'm excited about it. And this plant actually, last year when I got it, it had started dying. So, like the original. And I pinched it all back. Like I cut it. I didn't even pinch it. I cut it with scissors all the way down to the soil because it wasn't doing well and it was just looking sickly. So I cut it all down to the soil. And it's grown back beautifully. Like even what's left in the pot, I should probably still cut it back some more just because it's gotten big, and this is just what I pinched off. So yes, and our electric bill is going to go way down. Way down, because he would have a tendency, if we left the house, he would leave the AC on when it was still working. Leave the AC on, or once the AC wasn't working, leave the fan on, leave the TV on, and he'd leave, and it's like sucking up the energy in this house. I love it. Yeah, I got it from Walmart last year. He's so pretty. Just have to make sure that the cats... Ooh, I got a new spider, guys. My jumping spider is still doing well. The one that I captured from outside. My tarantula, Sammy, Misha Sammy, recently shed. It looks like he's got a buddy in his tank, in his enclosure, but it's just his molt. It just looks like there's another spider in there now. But he molted finally again. My jumping spider is doing good. I'm going to have to pop in at work sometime this week and get him a cricket or two. And because he's just a little guy, so he just eats little crickets, like 1 or 2 crickets or whatever. But somebody else that I work with breeds spiders, different kinds of tarantulas, and I got one. It's just a baby right now. It's like in a little cup. So right now it's like that big. It is, here you go, and it always intimidated me in the past. It is a bird eater tarantula. No, it doesn't eat birds. That's what I always thought. It's a huge spider and it eats birds. No, it's gonna be, when he's full grown, he's gonna be like this. But he is, right now he's only like that big. And he's still gonna eat like crickets and things. And they're actually not, they're kind of gonna be a lot like my pink toe tarantula, where he's gonna be on the more docile side. Lifespan of which? The bird eater? I looked, but I can't remember. Let me look. Bird eater. Males, females are 15 to 25 years. Males are 3 to 6 years. So, totally not as long. I don't know what I have. You're not even going to be able to see them, but I'll show you the cup he's in right now. I don't even see him myself. He might have buried himself. He's just in this little cup right now because that's how tiny he is. And like once a week, where are you? Once a week, I'll like crack this open and spritz it for humidity. And once a week, throw in a small cricket. And he's buried himself a little bit in here. Now my pink toe is arboreal, which means they like taller enclosures. He's going to be terrestrial, so he'll be I don't see him, which means he's probably under some of this mossy stuff. Hiding from me. Yeah, I don't see him. He's in there someplace, but I don't see him. Which tells you how small he is, considering of the little tiny, like, this is like, what, a dressing cup? That he's in. Yeah, females, even females for other tarantulas will live longer than the males. For my pink toe, it says for females they live this long, and for males it's like not as long. And I'm like, okay, how long is not as long? Pink toe. Let's see. Oh, this one actually gives a lifespan. So pink toes, females 6 to 9 years, and males are like 2 to 3. So I've already had mine for a little over a year. So might be getting up there. He's molted twice in the year that I've had him. Yeah, it's a cup for, yep, that's basically what he's in, and there's like little holes punched in here for air. But yeah, he's just a tiny little squirt right now, and he will totally get, when he's full grown, he's gonna, with his legs, if he spreads out his legs, he's gonna be like this. He's gonna be a big guy. But he'll only have to be, I was like, okay, just remind me, what size enclosure does he need when he's full grown? Apparently, he's only really going to need like a 10-gallon tank. So, because they're not super, super active spiders. Yeah, and that's what I have as a pink toe. I've never handled him. Even though they're docile, I'm like, I know I'm going to do something to spook them and they'll bite me. Their first inclination isn't to bite, but if they're spooked, if they feel threatened, it could. And there's venom, so I don't want to get sick. So I just don't handle him. And I'm not gonna, the bird eater, probably won't handle him either. They're just nice to look at. He's got OBTs as well. OBTs, tarantula babies, and they are angry little critters. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to get an angry tarantula that's going to definitely bite me. Not happening. Because you're going to have your angry ones that will definitely bite, that maybe don't have potent venom. But then he's got some tarantulas that do have a potent venom that would put you in the hospital. So I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good with my docile ones, thanks. But yeah, I was excited to see that he molted again. He looked rather, it's hard to say, like, I want to say he looked brighter. He's black, but he looked brighter to me when I looked in on him last week. And so I turned the enclosure because he had this webbing all in here, so it was hard to see. But I could tell there looked like there was another body down in his web. And I was like, he molted! Yay! I was waiting for it. Because I knew it had been a while since he molted the last time. And you can kind of tell, as long as the molt is in one piece, you can sex it at that point. But I'm afraid, first of all, I'd have to put my hand in there to get the molt out. But because it's going to be dried out, it's going to be very brittle. And trying to be careful to not spook him while I'm reaching into his web to get the molt out, I'm probably going to end up breaking it. So I'll just have to assume his gender. I saw the spider last night, but definitely hiding. Trying to see. Might have also buried itself. They will do that too. I should probably spritz it because there's not any form of humidity in there right now. And then I'll show you. Oh, back over here. Looks like he's out. You see my jumping spider's out. There he is. Up here. Hi. But if you see his webbing in there, that's where he made his home. So he hides in there a lot. Eats his crickets in there. He'll drag his crickets in and eat them. There he is. He's doing good. Little jumper. Little jumping spider with their cute faces. I do have a picture of his face. I got a pretty good picture of his face. Let's see. I know I have a picture of his face. Gotta really have a good camera to zoom in and get a clear picture. And it's harder to see because he's black. If you get like fancier ones from breeders that are different colors, their faces are a lot easier to see. This is a bit of a video, but there's his little face. That's a video. So he was like looking at me, looking at him. Ah! There he is. So, yeah, he's cute. They're so cute. He's the only one I've seen around my house. And I literally dumpster dove into my trash can to get him because that's where he went. He went into my trash can and I'm like, I'm getting you out. I'm getting you. They're just very quick. I'll give you my address. Whew. But yeah. Very, very cute. It's hard in that cup because it's not clean to really get good pictures of him. One day when he's more used to me, like he used to run when he'd see me. Now he's like curious. They're very curious, smart spiders. You don't have jumpers? Oh. And they don't spin webs. They do leave a silk trail, which is what he basically made this by just walking back and forth, making a silk trail, but they don't spin webs to catch food. So this is totally a house, not a food catcher. And they get their name jumping spider because they will actually pounce on their prey. So, and he'll eat things as big as him. Anything smaller, but up to as big as him. But, yeah, he's pretty cool. And then if he gets more used to me, he would totally sit on my finger. They can bite, but they don't necessarily, even if he tried to bite, he probably wouldn't break the skin. And if I were to go like that, he would just reach out. If he looks like he's reaching at the end of my finger, if I went like that, he would jump from my finger to my hand. If you go on, there are videos. Let me see. want to show you. Jumping, whoop, spell it right. Jumping spider. Like, look at this one. Look how cute. Look how cute. They're so stinking cute. Little tiny personalities. That's what mine looks like, except he's black. They're so stinking cute. This is on TikTok, and they give them voices, like having little conversations with them. I love it. I love it. So stinking cute. Particular favorite is the Phidippus or bull jumping spider. You probably do. Like I said, this is the first one I've seen in person. They're around. You just kind of have to know where to look. I happened to find him on the side of my trash can. Yeah, they're very jumping spiders are very curious. So yeah, he does. He'll turn around and look at me, and like in the video, he was staring at me like, "What are you looking at?" They're very inquisitive. Very inquisitive spiders, very curious. You always look for them. I had read the side of the house. They like to hide. They like so he made a house in that little cork bark. So they like to hide inside things. So something that's going to be warm, but sheltered. Like I said, I found them on the side of my trash can. They say look on the side of the house. Let me see. Could be, yeah, because it's like totally like a little tube of webbing right there. He did that. So, here he is. And I know when he's ready to eat again, when his abdomen gets a little smaller. After he's eaten, he's got a fatter abdomen. Let's see. Jumping. Where can I find a jumping spider? They live in a variety of habitats. Tropical forests harbor the most species, but they are also found in temperate forests, scrubland, deserts, intertidal zones, and mountainous regions. How do you attract a jumping spider? Here is how to use a beating stick for hunting jumping spiders. A medium stick should get the job done, so take one with you when you are out hunting spiders. Use the medium stick to whack vegetation gently. For instance, when you pass through a clump of bushes, use the stick to strike the plants gently. Maybe get them to come out? Let me read this. I'm going to click on this article because now I'm curious. Maybe this will help you find them. All right. Spiders have earned quite a bad reputation for being overly creepy and crawly, but guess what? Their fun and exciting nature have made them one of the most sought-after exotic pets. We love these intelligent creatures because they are not dangerous and can entertain you with superb hopping skills. Well, it can be a challenging and fun expedition to hunt and catch our spider friends. Keep in mind that removing jumping spiders from their natural habitat may not be the morally correct thing to do. That's just a matter of opinion. But just in case you still decide to hunt for jumping spiders, we encourage you to provide a fun and safe environment for them. And I am going to get him a bigger enclosure too. We have micro enclosures at work now. We carry them now, and I'm going to get him one. For those looking to get their hands dirty, here's how to catch a jumping spider. To successfully capture a jumping spider, you need to know what they look like. And I was like, when I saw him, I was like, he kind of reminds me of a jumping spider. So I kind of tried, without spooking him, tried to get it really close to see his face. And I'm like, it's a jumping spider. To this end, you can take some time to get familiar with jumping spiders' unique features. Here are some brilliant features of the jumping spider you should know. Jumping spiders have 8 eyes. They have 2 large ones along with 2 small eyes located on the face. They also have 2 similar pairs fixed just on top of their head. Jumping spiders feature bright colors. Some males have stripes or bands or vibrant jewel tones. They have fangs. They can appear fuzzy or furry. Because jumping spiders are known to prey on common insects, it's easy to find them in various environments. So keep your eyes peeled every time you are out in your garden or taking a stroll in your yard. From temperate forests to tropical jungles, our furry friends are known to live in many climates. That said, here are some exciting jumping spider facts you should know. Unlike other traditional spiders, our fuzzy friends do not spin webs. Jumping spiders have a reputation for tracking their prey on foot, so always stay vigilant and look out for them walking or jumping in the grass. Sometimes you can find them hopping from plant to plant. Yeah, you can't. Since they would be of similar size, they would eat each other. Sometimes you may get lucky and spot our fuzzy friend as it crosses your path. That said, in most cases, you'll have to make a deliberate attempt to track one down. I got lucky, just happened. I got home from work and I was like, oh, he's on my trash can. Using a beating stick, you can easily urge our spider friends to give up their cover and jump out in the open. Here is how to use a beating stick. It just sounds terrible, a beating stick. For hunting jumping spiders. A medium stick should get the job done, so take one with you when you are out hunting spiders. Use the medium stick to whack vegetation gently. I would say brush it against it, not whack it. For instance, when you pass through a clump of bushes, use the stick to strike the plants gently or run it over it. The vibration should send any hidden spiders out in the open, but be careful not to hit too hard, as you may end up hurting other animals hiding in the bush. You might hurt the spider too, I would think. You'll always need something to keep your spider in once you catch one. To this end, you'll not be wrong to take a vial with you when hunting. If you're looking to capture more than one spider, you can take several vials with you, but please make sure it is at least 2 inches long. This way your spider has plenty of room to roam around. Anything from a glass or plastic vial should do. I originally caught him in a drinking glass. I brought a glass outside and then put paper towel over it and elastic banded it on. Just ensure it comes with a lid. If you don't have a vial, you can use a plastic container or a glass jar. Just ensure you have them thoroughly cleaned and dried before setting out to hunt for spiders. Although our fuzzy friends are not thought to be dangerous, experts believe that these creatures' venom needs to be thoroughly studied. In short, we are not entirely sure if these creatures are venomous or not. To this end, you should handle them with a bit of care. When picking up a jumping spider from the wild, it will be wise to use the lid from the vial or jar to nudge the spider. Also, you can wear extra gloves for added protection. Hunting jumping spiders mean taking them out of their natural habitat. Hence, you must ensure to provide a nice enclosure with enough space for them to run around. And as you can see, I am going to upgrade him, but he does have a decent amount of space. He seems happy in there. I mean, he did make his house. He comes out. I spritz it when it needs to be spritzed to, that's how he drinks. I spritz the sides with a spray bottle. I open it up just enough to spray, and he'll drink the water droplets. Plus it adds a little humidity in there. If you're looking to get your hands busy, you can make an excellent DIY enclosure or tank. If not, you can easily shop for one online or check pet stores close to you for some options you think your spider friend will love. In captivity, also make sure it's fed properly. In their natural habitat, they're used to hunting their prey, but since you're now raising them in captivity, make sure you feed them what they love the most. Crickets, flies, mealworms, roaches. Anything that's small enough for them. Jumping spiders are one of the smartest predators we have come across. Their impeccable hunting skills make it easy for them to catch their prey. If you see them in your house, they are most likely wandering around to search for prey. So don't freak out if you find a jumping spider in your house. He's looking for food. He's helping you out. Sometimes jumping spiders are also attracted to the lovely ambient temperatures in your home, especially if it's too cold or hot outside. Because jumping spiders are vicious creatures, putting them together they're vicious towards each other. So here's your answer, Misha. Because jumping spiders are vicious creatures, putting them together in a single tank is a huge no-no. If you have them in a single enclosure, they will most likely fight to the death. Our furry friends have a really short lifespan. While some species can survive only 6 months, some jumping spiders can thrive for almost 3 years. Also, keeping in mind that female jumping spiders live longer than their male counterparts. And I know there's a way to tell them apart. It's just because they're so small, it's hard to see. They have a visual way to tell them apart, but they're small, so it's kind of hard to see it. Yes, work with nature, not against it. So no one accidentally he is on my windowsill. I keep him on the windowsill so he gets natural light and stuff like that too. Here he is. So he decided to come out. He's coming out more often now. He's kind of getting used to things, so he comes out more now. He doesn't go running when he sees me like he used to. Vicious. Catching a jumping spider can be quite tricky, which was with him because he went down into my trash can. Luckily, my trash can was nearly empty, so I tipped it on its side, and I got my glass, and I got my paper towel, and I kind of nudged him in, and I was crawling into my trash can. But if you follow the tips highlighted in today's post, you have nothing to worry about. In addition to successfully capturing a jumping spider, make sure it is properly cared for. Is that all? That's all you're saying? That's all it wants to tell me. But yeah, so just bushes or whatever, just kind of brush against it and see if they'll hop out. Occasionally, if he is already in here, but he's peeking out, if he sees me, sometimes he'll back up just a little bit. Other times, he's on the curious side and he'll come out further. But, yeah. He's got a white dot on his middle of his abdomen. Of course, can't see him from that side. But one day, I'm hoping to be able to hold on to him and see how he reacts. But since he was, a wild spider, he wasn't bred in captivity, he's going to be very nervous. But he is getting used to me. Like I said, he doesn't rush off and hide like he used to. But it's cool. Let's see if this one has come out yet. Nope. I don't see it. Hiding. Blending in really well. Don't see it. But yeah. Now that I've drank all this coffee, I have to use the bathroom. So yeah, it's cool. They're really funny to watch. He does have a tiny little personality. Oh, now he's on his cork. He's on his cork. Can't see him. There he is. Ah! There he is. He's probably going to want to eat a cricket here in the next couple days. You're in a spot where we can't see you. Oh, now looks like he's getting ready to go home. He's getting ready to go home. I'm gonna go home. See, like any other time he would have ran in. Yeah, this one definitely blends in to what's in here. He's like kind of a pinkish color right now. A pale pink color. I don't see him. Yeah, I do occasionally. I'm like, is there another one hanging out here? Because there's always a possibility of getting a different color, too. But anyway, now that I've been on nearly 2 hours, and I have to go to the bathroom, it's probably not a bad time to skedaddle. And my husband wants to know if the washing machine works, so I'll have to do a little laundry. I want to wash the bedding anyway. The cat has hair all over it, so I'll wash the bedding and let it. I mean, he'll know if it works because he'll get the notification that the washing machine was started. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if this one was a parent or not. I kind of feel bad now that if I really think about it, like, did I take him away from his family? Anyway, yeah, I'm going to head out and use the bathroom and do some laundry and, yeah, and I will keep you updated on how it goes with getting that new snake. I'm kind of excited about that. Still bummed about my other one, but can't do anything about that now. So, anyway, hope y'all have a wonderful day, and I will talk with you later. And H7, again, thank you so much. I very much appreciate it. It was very sweet of you. Have a very good day, everybody, and I will talk with you later.